Hey everyone, good afternoon and welcome to another Topic Time edition of another Topic Time with Harrison Young edition. It's going to be a great show tonight. Got some underwriters to read. The weather's getting beautiful outside. It's a month to go to spring and it's really feeling like it tonight. So we got Shovel Shop Spirits in Easton. We got Shore Shine Professional Detailing and Hand Wash in Abington. We got Chino Sushi Bar and Grill in Easton. We got MDI Auto Brokers in Whitman, and they are the home of the fully certified used car. And we got Clothes Clinic Dry Cleaning in Whitman, where Topic Time fans get 10% off. And on that note, thank you all very much, and now we will officially start the show.
Can I?
Got it.
It's different.
Got the rhythm. Okay, folks, again, welcome to Talking Time with Harrison Young. It's always fun doing it, more fun the second time, because then I know I'm going to be able to introduce the guests and we really get the show rolling. Well, like I said, it's a beautiful day out there. It's an awesome day in here. Only for the second time in history have I two Topic Time guests that don't know each other. It's the only other time that happened was back on September 7th, 2016 in Rainham when I had Arthur Hugh and Paul Kandarian on together, both actors, and I made a new friendship with those guys, and I'm going to make one tonight with these two folks here. All right, to my immediate right, this is Anabel Gutierrez. She came all the way out from the western part of Massachusetts. She's a voiceover artist. She's a very pretty lady, as you can see. She's also she's a radio talent, and she does a radio show in the morning, 5 mornings a week. Is that correct?
Yes, well, my times recently changed, but I'm still with the radio station, yes.
Okay, we're going to talk about her career. And to her right is Marc Zappulla. He's an author of, you guys are all, I know there's a lot of sports fans out there, and that includes big fans of the Boston Bruins, who have won, I believe, about 7 or 8, 9, maybe like 9 Stanley Cups in the history. 2 of them were with a goalie named Jerry Cheevers, who was pretty much hard. To sneak a puck by Jerry Cheevers, you really had to be, a flipper, and he was great, and he won them 2 Stanley Cups. And I think he was in net the night that Bobby Orr in 1970 won the Stanley Cup. Then we don't talk sports enough, I don't think so. Tonight we're going to. Well, this gentleman here, Marc Zappulla, has written the biography of Jerry Cheevers, and apparently they're good friends, and we're going to talk about that tonight. He brought me a couple of books, including the one about Jerry. And so, Marc, thanks for coming in. I know you wanted to do the show for a while.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Okay, that's great. Okay, well, all right, Marc. I know I introduced Anabel first, so let's start with you. You're a writer, and you're obviously pretty well known. How did you get into writing, and how many books have you done so far? And I like to ask everybody what they were like as kids too. So, were you writing as a kid, and did you create?
No, I honestly did not write. I started writing when I was laid off from a job.
No kidding. I always say everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, so I was actually approached by someone named Brian McNamee. A lot of people don't know, but I wrote his manuscript. He was the strength and conditioning coach for Roger Clemens.
Wow.
So that was my lucky break.
Yeah, I guess it was. How long ago was this?
2008.
Okay. So this was 11 years ago.
Yeah, so I wrote Brian's manuscript, and because of his attorneys, we got a lot of pushback. It couldn't come out.
Wow.
But after that is when my friend introduced me to Jerry Cheevers, and he said, "Here, take a look at a couple of chapters. If you want to do a book, Marc's your guy." So
that is amazing. Now, just curious, how did McNamee figure that you? I mean, here you were. What did you do that you got laid off from?
Oh, I was doing like an accounting job or something like that.
Well, why did they figure you were qualified to write a book about Clemens?
We started a website, 4 of us, 4 friends, and Brian was actually one of the guys to launch the site. So I had just written a couple of articles.
And what kind of a website was it? For sports?
It was sports, girls, edgy type of stuff.
Okay, cool. I think she's impressed. That's good.
Hey.
All right,
That's awesome.
So basically the stuff you talked about, or you posted on the website, made them think that you were qualified to write a book about Roger Clemens.
Yeah, and that was surreal because, it was such a hot topic. It was in the media all the time, so I was a little hesitant even going in.
You're talking about the steroids?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, sure.
So you basically, did you get to write about Canseco too?
All of them.
Wow. Well, let me ask you this. Were they not happy? I mean, I know you had, it was your job to uncover everything and make, and to tell the world the truth.
Yeah.
And not just as you saw it, but as you
Well, as Brian told it to me.
deduced it.
So yeah.
Okay.
And,
Well, how did it go over with the mainstream sports media? Just curious.
well, it never came out,
Oh, it
so
never
they didn't
came
have
out.
a chance to say anything about it.
Okay.
Just his attorneys who threatened lawsuits against us. So
So the book never went forward.
it never went forward. I was subpoenaed 3 times.
By who?
Roger Clemens' attorneys to
Wow.
get as much out of
You
me,
had-
out of the story as possible.
What
so.
is it subpoenaed? Like you were injuncted? You mean? You didn't have to testify, did you?
I didn't, because there was a record subpoena. If I didn't turn over an adequate amount
Oh.
of records, I'd have to, at one point, testify in front
And
of Congress.
this went to
So,
the Supreme Court because it was a violation of the rules of the game of baseball, and it became a national. It was like almost like a national inquest into a huge crime, as
Sure
opposed
was.
to just being,
Yeah.
a little sport misbehaving. So,
Yeah.
and look at all the people that have been sort of gotten. I mean, look at A-Rod now. I mean, he served out a whole season of a suspension, and now he's in the broadcast booth with Fox Sports. It's incredible.
yeah.
And as well he should be. He was qualified, and Clemens is too. I've gone to some games Clemens has pitched.
He was a great pitcher. He probably would have went in the Hall of Fame either way. He's not in yet, but I think Brian got a raw deal out of the
Okay.
whole thing, but that's another story.
What about you, Anabel? You a sports fan?
A little bit. Well, yes.
Okay.
Boston, sports only.
All right. Let's talk about you now a little bit. You grew now. Where are you from? Are you from this country? I know you have
I'm
you're a
Latina.
Hispanic girl,
yes,
right?
I am a Latina. I'm Hispanic.
Latina,
So, born in LA, moved to Mexico when I was about 3.
Okay.
Moved to Boston when I was about 7.
Cool. And what were the moves for? Parents have jobs?
No, my dad, my parents.
Right. Okay.
Yes, just my parents.
All
Their
right.
choices.
That's cool. All right. So now you're
I had no say at that time.
I know. I know you had no say. I'm just wondering why you were. I'm just wondering what was the circumstances.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, fast forward however many years, and you're a radio talent, and you're doing pretty well. You work.
Yes.
What radio station do you work for, and where is
So,
it?
the radio station that I work for is La Mega.
Okay.
La Mega is the largest Latino radio station, pretty much the only one here in Massachusetts. They have
Okay.
3 frequencies.
Is it in Worcester?
They have 3 frequencies. So
Well,
they have.
where's your base? Where are you
My
based out of?
base is Worcester,
It
but
is.
even our FM and AM frequency in Boston comes out of the base, which is Worcester.
Okay. Now you do your show with 2 other people every morning, 5 mornings a week. Is that it?
We did, yes, we did. So I moved from Hawaii because
Hawaii
I got
too. Why you've been
yes.
around? Cool.
A little bit, not too much.
No, I understand. Well, all right. What's your show like?
So,
Talk about your show a little bit.
So I went
It's in
to
Spanish. I know that.
It's in
'Cause
Spanish.
I was listening to it online, and it sounded beautiful, but I didn't understand a word. I flunked 3 years of Spanish.
I did see that
Yeah,
comment
2
on
for
you.
me, yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go. Okay. Well, speaking of hat tricks, right? Hockey, whatever. But
Right.
yeah.
So we just what we pretty much did is a lot of comedy. We focused on me being Mexican. Another one of the guys was Dominican, and the
Okay.
other one didn't like to say where he was from. So it was nice because we would make fun of everything, and a lot of different cultures would understand it because it was so many nationalities coming together. Except they just changed it to full Dominican,
Okay.
and they moved us.
Well, when you say you were making fun of nationalities, wasn't that a little PIC?
No, not like making fun of, they could make fun of me if I said something that means different to them. You see, in Spanish,
Okay.
I could say a word,
Yeah.
and to me it means something if I'm Mexican, but
Right.
to you being Dominican, it could mean something completely different, and I have no idea.
Okay.
So we just left it all off.
Well,
You know, it's what made the show interesting. It's what made it funny.
It sounds like it.
because yeah,
There's
we
more
had
of that
no.
these
So
days.
you got a regular Tower
Yeah.
of Babel going on in there.
It was awesome, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they would, obviously, they would be
You have
like,
guests
say
on the
more things for me to say, and I'd say them, and I'd be like, that doesn't mean anything, right? And they would be cracking up, and I'd be like, well, what does it mean?
Well,
So it was
you're
nice,
definitely
yeah.
a bubbly young lady, and I can see why you can get them cracking
Thank you.
up without having to say too much. Do you ever have any sports topics on your show?
Little,
Okay.
a little bit. We do talk, like if something like the World Series or, the playoffs, football or something like that, but we don't have like a big sports section.
You don't have a big sport? Okay.
unfortunately. You're gonna have to teach
I was
me.
thinking
Yeah,
maybe you
we'll
could
change
have him on the
Change
show.
that.
Will you please?
Yeah, of course.
That would be great. I love networking people together.
Let's lock
Okay.
it up.
All right. So Marc, let's talk about, you got your book done, Jerry Cheevers didn't have a problem with steroids, obviously, as far as we know. You look kind of like Cheevers a little bit too. You get
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
it's
that,
a compliment.
He's a handsome guy.
So eventually, he came to you. Or how did it come about to be that you were going to write his biography? It had to be a little bit more explicit than just Brian McNamee after that.
No, my friend had handed him a couple of chapters, and he said, "Yeah, I had met Jerry
Just
a few
like your
times."
writing style.
Yeah, basically, I guess they say I can really transmit someone's voice into the book, and it sounds like them. And
Wow.
when I veer off, they know, and they let me know. And sometimes I try and cheat a little bit, but Jerry was happy with the book.
That's awesome.
We worked for about a year and a half. I went up to Canada, went down to Florida.
Is he a Canadian by birth?
Yeah, he's from
He
St.
is.
Catharines. It's right
Oh, I
next to
wasn't
Niagara
sure.
Falls.
Yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, I did some traveling to do it. Jerry, I learned everything about him, his family, great people.
Yeah.
So
Do you talk to any of the old Bruins at all?
Oh yeah.
SB and
Yeah.
Ken Hodge, Kenny Marc,
Yeah.
those guys. I used to watch those games
Brad
every
Park,
night when I
sure,
was a kid.
yeah.
In fact, I had dinner with Bobby Orr in 1974. It was
yeah?
It was a charity thing. My mother bid $500 for a charity, and that was back then. They were just starting to do celebrity dinners and stuff for
Yeah.
charity, and it was awesome. I'm a vegan now, but his wife made a really good turkey spread and mashed potatoes,
Yeah.
and they had a ton of it.
Fantastic
When I was
people.
in ninth grade, yeah.
That generation, everything. They're just so humble.
Right.
Great guys, beer drinkers. Just like
Yeah, but on
just
the
like
ice,
me.
they were fierce competitors.
Oh yeah.
They-
Oh yeah.
okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, so Anabel, so you do voiceovers too? How'd that come to
Yeah.
be? What kind of voiceovers?
So when I started doing internships for radio, which was probably about 7 years ago.
Internships? Any from college at all? Did you go to college?
Well, we call it internship. I did not go to college, but I call it an internship because I wasn't getting paid.
You weren't
So
getting paid, I
technically,
understand. All right, so that makes sense. I
kind
get
of
it.
like an internship, right?
Right.
So I was very blessed to meet the right people
Yeah.
to show me. And I would go to this radio station and they would be like, well, you have a great voice, record this. And
You
I'd
do
be
have a
like,
great voice.
okay.
Okay.
And you have this is my regular voice. My acting voice sounds completely different. But thank you, I appreciate it. So,
I agree with them. I agree.
so they would get me to really had a guy there that would be like, oh, this is when I first started. I would give you $20 and just record this commercial for me. And I would be like, okay. And he would correct me in everything, pronounce every S, every R, everything in Spanish, and it was amazing.
So
And
they
from then
liked
on-
your voice, so they had you do commercials.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, at that little radio station. And then from then on, I just started doing more stuff for DJs.
Just
and
took
now,
off.
Yeah, now I
Wow.
record for thousands of DJs around the world, and
Fantastic.
it's my goal.
Yeah, what is your goal?
Now it's my goal to do big audiobooks,
There you go.
and I am going for the next 5 weeks to a special class to be able to see how to land like more bigger contracts, like to be the voice of bigger contracts. Like the guy of Allstate, but like
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
the girl of I don't
Dennis,
know.
the guy, I know that voice.
Maybe the girl for
Allstate.
shaving cream. I don't know, something.
No, I know exactly what you mean.
Sky's the limit.
So I don't know.
So are these TV commercials that you do voiceovers in,
I
or
do
just radio right now?
TV, radio, DJs,
Okay.
telecast. Stuff
Have you ever
like
done
that, yeah.
anything outside of this? Have you ever, in terms of like entertainment, do you sing at all? You do have a pretty voice. Have you done any singing, dancing, acting, and film acting? And I'm going to ask you the same thing about your life because you
Acting
first.
and little music videos here and there.
Okay, what kind? Like music videos?
Yeah, like Spanish music, little
But you
music
didn't sing in them.
videos.
You just acted.
No,
in
no,
them.
no. Everybody tells me you should sing, and I say maybe one day I'll get a coach and try to figure out because I sing horrible. But maybe she can help me do something better.
I think she probably could if you get if you work with her a little bit.
Yeah, well,
If
thank
she
you.
thinks you're good enough to do it, then you must be good enough. You just have to put yourself
Really,
out
yeah,
there.
have to learn.
And what about you, Marc? You ever done any acting? You ever done any theater or film?
All behind the scenes, this stuff. Yeah, that's it.
What's that?
All behind the scenes, just writing. That's it.
Okay, just
yeah.
writing is your thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But I'm willing to try.
No, I'm sure you are. Well, how many?
Yeah.
That's great. We're very
Absolutely.
happy to hear
Do
that
a
you're willing to
duet.
try. I like to hear that
Duo,
from my guests.
duet. Oh.
We're talking singing or acting.
How many books have you written totally now?
That are out 4. I have number 5 is on the way.
Okay, so you brought me 2. You brought
yeah,
me the
so
Cheers
this
thing,
is
and
the
that's-
latest one.
Talk about the other book a little bit, would
This
you?
one here,
Yeah.
I think I'm supposed to
Hold
put
it
it
up
up here.
to that white. little
The
white
last
part
longshoreman,
you
it's
do.
called. It's fiction. I say fiction-ish.
Yeah.
It's about an East Boston native, young kid, tough kid, grows up sort of with a wayward past, and he ends up working on the waterfront when he's 18. And,
Okay.
his first day, he witnesses a murder,
Okay.
and you know, he's going to make a decision from there. What path he takes really profoundly affects the rest of his time.
That photograph on the cover, how'd you get that done? What was that?
That's me, first
That's
of all.
you.
That's
Okay.
me.
That's you.
That's awesome.
It's a nice picture.
Yeah, no, my buddy Mike Petrillo, actually, who designed it, the cover, took the
Okay.
picture. We went down South Boston.
Oh, there it is. Now you can hold up to the white
Yeah.
camera. Now they say just it's closing in. There you go.
I dressed up like Michael Corleone, and
Wow.
we had a gun there.
You
and
are
everything,
Italian too,
scaring
right?
people. Yeah, I'm Italian.
Cool.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Was that on the Bank of the Charles?
No, this was South Boston.
Oh, Southie.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, you said Southie. That's
Yeah,
a nice
but I
waterfront.
mentioned all about Boston, every
Okay.
area mostly. So.
Okay. So did this book come after the Cheevers biography?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
did. Okay.
This was 2 years ago. The next one, Miami Underground, it's called, will be next month.
So you basically like writing like thrillers
Yeah.
and biographies.
Yeah. Truthfully, it began as sports.
Right.
Brian and then Jerry. I did a couple of fitness books for people.
Oh, cool. Yep.
But I had some time at one point. I decided to just do this, and now that's all I'm doing.
Just doing his writing now.
Yeah.
Wow, you're making a pretty good living at it, I guess.
It's all right.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, everybody has to read. Now, are these books available online, or are they all? I mean, I assume the Cheevers book you can buy at Barnes and Noble, or not?
Jerry's book's in transition right now.
Oh, it is.
We're gonna put it in paperback soon.
Okay.
But yeah, you'll go to Amazon to get that. And the last longshoreman, yeah, Amazon, Kindle, BarnesandNoble.com, every online outlet.
That's great.
So,
Okay.
Yeah. So
And
it's out there.
Have you ever? What about the possibility of trying to get some film producer to produce some of not the biography, but maybe that's the kind of story that might be cool and made into a film?
Yeah, there's been talk about it for 2 years now. I had a few producers contact me.
There you go.
Some very reputable. We didn't strike a deal. I think it will happen. Just hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
Do you have a girl part?
I'm sorry.
Do you have a girl part?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Does she have a what?
Latina.
A girl part.
Yeah.
A go-kart?
A girl. Well, that too. Do you have a go kart?
I don't know. I can put one in there. It's fine.
I didn't hear what you
A
said.
girl part.
Oh, a girl part. Well,
Yeah.
there you go. Maybe
She's
can,
locked in. So
There you go. I mean,
pretty good. Beautiful Latinas.
Volunteer.
yeah, why not?
Yeah.
That's right. This could be a career. This could be a career boost for both of you.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm hoping.
In fact, the
Okay?
next book, Miami Underground. I mean, that could
All right, you're working on that now. Is that anything like Miami Vice? Obviously, that's what one might think. That's the.
No.
No, it's not. Well, is it like? Well, I'm thinking based on what I hear about Miami, that it's got an underworld. It's got like an influx of bad seeds coming from
Yeah.
south of the border. And believe me, I don't mean that as a mean stereotype, because I know you
I'm
came from
leaving.
there originally. but I hear, but I do watch the news, and sometimes I see a little. I might watch a 2020 show on the underworld from different parts. I mean, we have underworld here too. I mean, it's not like.
Yeah, I mean, the book rubs up against the sort of Miami Cuban connection underworld.
Okay.
But it's about four thieves who have to steal something out of the Versace mansion to save someone. So,
Where the guy was murdered in 1997.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, is this considered like fiction based on truth, or what? What would you call it, John?
No, the story is fiction. There's
Okay.
a lot of historical background I had to do, and that was true that I had to put in the book. But the characters aren't real.
Okay. Now, Anabel, have you ever done any writing yourself?
No, not yet.
Are you planning on it? Have you ever tried maybe writing a script for yourself?
No.
I could see you
I
possibly.
flunked English all the time.
You do? You're
Yeah.
talking pretty good English here. I mean,
No,
all right, so I
not
didn't-
that English, like writing English.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm thinking.
Yes.
So everything you've done so far has been, you're not seen, you've only heard, right? Whether it's a TV commercial that you're doing a voiceover for, or just the radio.
No, I did local TV in Boston.
Oh, you did? Okay,
Yeah.
cable TV, right? And then-
Cable TV,
Yeah.
yes. Cable
But I'm
TV,
just sa-
Latino channel.
Okay, Latino
Yes.
channel, okay. There's a girl I interviewed on the show. Her name is Gutierrez Rodriguez. Do you know her?
No.
Know her? Yeah, she's from. She did something at Channel 7 a few years ago, right in 2015. That's when I interviewed her.
Okay.
Okay, so I was wondering, you might want to.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe you could write. Maybe do you ever like when you do everything in the show, the radio show you do in the morning is spontaneous, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't write anything. I mean, you just
Yeah.
sort of. How many in the group of people that?
Two of us.
Two.
But
Two
so
of
right
you.
now we moved to online radio
Okay.
because the morning show, like I said, they just switched it.
Okay.
And I now work in the station from 10 to 2
Okay.
by myself, and I DJ live from 12 to 1 because I'm learning to DJ.
When you talk about DJ, you mean
And
play
that's
music?
hard.
Play music,
Yeah,
right?
like
Okay.
with all the buttons that some still trying to figure out.
Well, I know.
That's a
I know
lot.
what it's like. I ran the board for a few talk shows myself, and that's difficult.
Yeah.
But
How's your boombox easy?
boom, one, two buttons.
That's
It's nothing.
what I need.
No, you'll believe me. I know how complex it is with state-of-the-art equipment nowadays. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's a lot.
Okay. Well. Okay. Well, so, are you,
But hopefully, prayerfully. I mean, writing is not, it's not my thing.
it's not your thing.
Would I ever maybe want to do something that has to do with stuff that I really love and get a writer to be like, will you do it?
But to write,
Probably
maybe
like-
you can write your
yes.
biography.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You certainly have an interesting story to tell. I mean,
Yeah.
based on what in your history.
Yeah. If I write, every other sentence would be completely like misgrammared.
Well, I
I
gotta
don't
tell you
even know if that's a
something.
word, misgrammared.
When I talk to you on Facebook, yeah, but you know what? I got to be honest with you. Your speech is very good. I thought I'd have a hard time understanding you, except for that girl part. I didn't hear what you said. Every other word is coming through loud and clear. So you're pretty good. Your
I
English is
speak it
fine.
fluent. Yeah,
Yeah.
I speak both pretty fluent.
What was I going to say? I had a thought in the back of my head. Okay, so you say you're taking a course now. How do you learn to run the board? You do it at the station and they teach you? Is that it?
Who, me?
Yeah, you running the board. Is that that's what they call
Oh,
it?
at the radio station?
Yes.
One of my friends is a DJ there, and
Okay.
he's been DJing for the radio station for a while, so he takes time out of
Oh, okay.
his time, comes to the station, and sees me do it, and sees me do little mistakes, but corrects me, and that's how you learn.
That's
right?
awesome. Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
it's
I know what I
awesome.
was going to ask both of you. Are you both like you have a husband, married, to have kids or anything, or are you both single? And
I'm single, yeah.
what's that?
I'm single, yeah.
And you?
I'm single with 3 dogs. That counts as 3
that's beautiful.
kids.
That's awesome. Animals are great because they're not going to keep you. They're going to be inspirational to you, for whatever you do.
They are.
That's true. That's
They
true.
are.
3 dogs. Wow.
I know.
Well, I no one's going to break into your apartment or
Dude,
house.
no.
With that, are they big
Whoever-
dogs?
One's a pit mix.
Wow.
The other 2 are little.
That's sweet. That's
Yeah.
really nice. Okay.
Yeah. One of them's pregnant.
Do you ever bring him to the,
More
to
dogs
the
on the
radio
way.
station? She's pregnant?
More on the way, yeah.
Oh, you good. Do you ever bring him to the radio station with you?
I did actually before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Look.
The producer was not very happy because he's allergic. I didn't know he was allergic.
Oh, I'm sure he'll survive.
He survived.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. Well. So now, do either of you have an agent now?
No, I mean, I have a, like a literary manager.
I was going to say because I'm trying to figure out how these producers are finding you.
Oh, would you believe Facebook?
I believe it.
Awesome, really.
They messaged me on Facebook.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. These are the guys that did, what do you call it? The Patriots Day. You know,
Okay.
that movie, those guys, yeah, so.
Wow. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah. And
That's
what
awesome.
about you? Do you have an agent? How do you get these commercial
For my
gigs?
voiceovers,
Yeah.
that's the reason why I have these next 5 weeks coming working with somebody to
Okay, so you have someone that's
go
going to be helping you.
through, yes, to go
Wow.
through agencies and all that.
Okay.
And move on to the next phase.
Now, the radio station, for you, it's an online thing, so it reaches all over the world. Do you know basically what your listenership is like around the country?
One is online. I am not allowed with them, with the 2 guys that you saw on the air.
Yeah.
So when they moved, as they went online, I don't get to go with them as much as I would like to because they're in Boston. I live, on
Right.
the other
you
side.
west of Boston, I know.
So, but the radio station has 3 FMs and 3 AM frequencies. So
Okay. Wow.
that's here and online as well.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
So
I'm everywhere.
Yeah, I know that.
But
That's great.
but I have way up there to get, little
Right.
by little, one step at a time,
Makes
right?
2 of us, yeah.
That's right. That's what life is. Life is a journey of steps. Now,
Yes.
do either of you plan to travel anywhere to enhance your careers at all in the next few months? Now that we're almost in the spring of 2019.
I have no immediate plans right
Okay.
now, no.
Have you ever traveled anywhere before? Like, I mean, I know you you grew up you started in California, you ended up in Hawaii, and then to Boston. Have you ever done anything in New York, LA, or any of those places?
I mean, I've worked in New York, I've worked in Canada, Florida, places like that.
For the which?
For
Are
the,
you doing
for the
real?
books, yeah.
Oh, okay, for your
Yeah.
book and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you're basically you're happy in Boston. You'll probably always be there, or at least for a while.
I cannot see myself in New York.
Okay, but
It's so fast.
right. You
I think Boston is fast. I go to New York and I'm like, whoa, slow down, and
Right.
they do not smile.
Okay, so you're pretty much
So no.
you're pretty happy with the pace that
Yes.
you got now.
So and even this is a little quick. Have you ever been to Hawaii?
No, I have not.
Oh
my
my
brother
God.
did.
It's amazing. It's beautiful. But
I heard
you
it snowed there last week.
You have to slow down times 100. In Maui, I think it did.
Okay, yeah.
In Maui.
I couldn't believe it. They had 3 inches of snow in Maui last week.
If
I
I'm
saw
not
it on the
mistaken, I
news.
think it was Maui.
It was Maui. They have more snow there than they got here.
Yes.
Well,
So
guess
when I moved to Hawaii, everybody would be like, slow down. This is not Boston. Where are you going? Because they're so sure.
Well, I
Take
guess
your
it's all relative.
time. You're late. No problem. She's later. Like,
that is.
yeah.
So everywhere you go, it's a different pace. I
Yeah.
understand. Well, that's good. I mean, it's nice that you're here. You're happy in Boston, and obviously you're doing pretty well for yourself.
Thank you.
And now I just want to let you guys know we're down to the final 5 minutes of the show. So what I want you to do is give shouts out to people that are going to see it. You first, because you're the lady. You ladies first. You can talk to your
Okay.
dogs. You can talk to the people at the radio station because they're going to see the show. And then you can say hi to Jerry, and then we wrap the show up, and other people too. But go ahead, you first. Annabel.
Okay, all right. Well, first, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Thanks for coming in, yeah.
having me on my show. To the people, because I know that we will be sharing this video to everyone that has supported me on radio, that knows from my radio show. Thank you all so much. Julie Boy, David Suazo, I love you guys because you made me, and my dogs, Pandy, Hannah, Chubbs,
Cool.
babies to come. No, no, it's just thank you for everything. Thank you for having me here,
Okay.
and thank you for everybody that's watching your show. I
Yeah,
appreciate
exactly.
their support as well. So thank you.
It's a great guest to make topic time prime, I always say. All right, go ahead now, Marc, your turn.
Well, I
You
got to
say some
thank you
shouts
then
out.
too as well. I mean, first off, for having me here. So I'm
Okay.
really excited to be here. I got to give a shout out to John Fahey
Yep.
for bringing me to you,
Okay.
so we could hook
I've
up
never
and
met
do this
John. I
show.
know he's a fan, and
Yeah.
I thought he has his own show himself that you've been on.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
John's
great.
been one of my biggest promoters, supporters in the last couple of years, so I just wanted to say hello to him. And how about my parents, Joe and Lena? Love you very much, especially my mother. It's her birthday today, so happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. I'd
Yeah.
ask how old, but if she's younger than me, I'd tell you what day of the week she was born on.
Yeah, so I'll see her tomorrow. I couldn't be here today, but I'll see her tomorrow.
And she'll see the show. She'll see the show too.
Absolutely.
All right, now
So-
before go ahead.
I have to say thank you, Mom and Dad. Now
There you go. I'd say it,
Yeah,
but my
thank you,
parents,
Mom
and
my
Dad.
parents don't give squat about the
Did
show.
they-
it
birthday
was
too?
a couple of weeks ago, so. But I'm not trying to copy you, but I cannot not say thank you now that you.
Well, I hope you guys had a good time
Thank
with me
you.
tonight.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And I hope
Absolutely.
that having you two together worked out good for both of you. I think we made
Absolutely.
well, like I said, only the second time in history I've had two guests that didn't know each other, and I think you guys are good friends now, and everything you do is going to upgrade your career. And I also wanted to ask both of you if anybody that you know in the industries that you're a part of, and then love to get Jerry on topic time if he's ever available, if he's ever up here.
Yeah.
Anybody that both of you know that you've either written about or worked with, I'd love to get him on the show. If you could get him in, if you could tell him about it.
Okay.
That was word of mouth. So you guys did a great job, and you ready to jiggy with it and finish it up?
Yeah, we'll jiggy
Sure.
with it.
Okay, folks. I hope you had
Is
another
that
great,
the finger snap thing?
enjoy another great episode of Topic Time, and there'll be more to follow. See you next time. Take care.
Is this the closing credits?
Beautiful. What's that?
Is this the closing credits?
The only credit, the credits are at the very end when it says host of Topic Time, Harrison Young.
Am I on beat?
Beautiful, isn't it?
She got the rhythm. I'm lacking a little bit of rhythm.